Hi, welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is James, also known as the Only Zerg, and I'm back at you with a brand new What If series that will be ongoing. It will seldomly be updated until I get one of the series finished, which will be in a month or so. So this may be take over as one of the main What Ifs. In this, it's going to be the What If series is called What If Deku had Zenkais, or what if Deku was able to receive a Zenkai boost. This idea in thought actually started on what if Deku was a Saiyan, and it kind of evolved into just strictly the Zenkai, because that is the only part of it, because in my story I later decided I didn't want to get into like transformations like Super Saiyan and stuff like that, but purely on like base Deku evolving his abilities and getting to a point to where he's quite literally a god on Earth. But he has to work towards that, because in My Hero Academia, the spiritual level, like the spirit power of the entire planet, is very low, even though it has an abundance of life. So that being said, that's how I'm doing this. And well, the thumbnail was a slight spoiler. I shared it on Discord and I also explained it a little bit. So with that being said, let's get into our story of what if Deku had Zenkais. We start our story in a world in a void of white. A pure soul. Interesting. It seems this soul is very unfortunate. It was born into a world where most of the population has some kind of supernatural power. Quite interesting. I should keep an active eye on this one. It may develop into something outstanding. So over the years, this being has been watching Deku for a while, and he sees like Deku growing up, idolizing heroes and wanting to be a hero, and then he sees the young boy when he's told that he's quirkless. He gets it seems like his world's destroyed, but he's still hopeful that he can be a hero. Maybe he doesn't necessarily need a quirk, but he wants to be a hero. And so over the next 3 years, because that happened when Deku was 5, and where I'm going to start changing the series is when Deku was 8. He's like, I've watched long enough. I believe he's worthy, but this species is still pretty underdeveloped and weak. I can do that. No, I must give him a chance to be more than what he is. And with that, the being stands up and grabs a staff and hits it on the ground, and the entire area is filled with a bright flash of light. And then when the light clears, the being has disappeared. So we cut to Izuku Midoriya, age 8, quirkless. Like I described before, his life has been very, like, the things between him now and things in canon are pretty much identical, with the exception that Katsuki has been a little bit more abrasive. Not mean-spirited, but slightly more forceful in how he's been bullying Deku. So just a tad. Not so much as it causes such a big change, but he does gain a little bit more. He does get bullied a little bit more than what he does in canon. but not much. Not enough that would significantly change the character of Katsuki, but it would put a different type of strain on their relationship for over the past 3 years. So that being said, we cut back to the story. Deku is 8, and he, like that day, it was really rough, and he comes home, and his mother notices that he has a couple of scrapes and scratches on his face. And his mom asks him, Izuku, are you okay, Izuku? You seem like you got beat up. It seems like you were in a fight. Baby, are you okay? Deku, with sadness in his face and his eyes, he looks at his mother and says, I'm fine, Mom. It's just, I was getting bullied again today for being quirkless. And Inko, she walks over to her son and embraces him. It's like, I'm sorry, Izuku. And Izuku brushes aside a tear and he says, it's fine, Mom. It's just, I really wish I had a quirk. Maybe people wouldn't bully me so much. So that night, Deku has this weird dream. He dreams of a log cabin next to like a waterfall, and for some reason the waterfall has a rhythm to it, and he doesn't know why. Then he sees the log cabin, and he can hear someone kind of whistling inside. And then he hears, oh, I have a visitor. And this man, he walks out of the cabin, and he sees it. He sees this man, and Izuku thinks and feels like, wow, for some reason this man seems familiar. He looks familiar. And he's thinking this. And the man says, oh, it's a young boy. That's interesting. I seldom get visitors out here. What's your business here, young man? And Izuku instinctively says, I'm not sure what? Where am I? And the older man says, oh, that's not really important. If you're here, that can only mean one thing. You want power. And Izuku's like, well, I do, but... And then the man says... because Izuku just, for some reason, also feels at great peace. Like he feels what some could be described as serenity, but not quite. He just can feel that this man isn't a threat at all. And so Izuku says, well, I want to be a hero, and if I can't be a hero without a quirk, but doesn't mean like I have to be able to do something. I have to be able to be better. And then the man that came out of the cabin says, well, what's the reasoning behind you wanting to be a hero in the first place? And Izuku stops and he thinks about it for a few minutes. And then with a determined look on his face, he speaks. It's like, I want to be a hero like All Might. Somebody that can save people with a smile on their face. Someone that will encourage others to be better than what they are. I want to be a hero, but at last I'm quirkless, and it doesn't seem like that dream that's out of my reach. And then the man says, well, young man, never give up. You can definitely be a hero if you keep that attitude, though you not having a quirk is an issue. How about this, young man? Don't give up, and in the time of need, I'm sure your quirk will come in. At this, Deku, he wakes up the next morning, and full stop. Basically, this person that Deku had dreamed of, in quotation marks, we're putting that in quotation marks, heavy quotation marks. This being is a god, and he felt the presence of a pure soul being born into his universe. So he's kept track, and he's given a godly boon to Izuku. Basically, the more he fights, the more he improves himself, And if he gets to a near-death state but comes back from it, he'll be stronger. So essentially, he gave Izuku Midoriya the ability to gain Zenkai boost. So the more damaged he gets in a fight, the stronger he gets after recovering from said injury or fight. One moment. So Izuku wakes up the next morning and he feels at peace. Like he just feels like this, like everything in the world is right and everything will work out. And he has a flash of memory of like the dream, and he's like, oh, whatever, it's just probably a dream. But he just can't. He just from now on just feels at peace with things. Like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders for some reason. Over the next couple of years, the next 2 years, Izuku is getting bullied more and more by Katsuki, and Izuku just feels the heat of the explosions and stuff like that, and annoying to him and Katsuki. Over the past 2 years, he's been giving Deku like Zenkai boost, and Deku's just progressively been getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, unknowingly. Like the gains that he's receiving are so minute, it just seems like a natural progression. It's not like like I can lift a freaking car, like change from barely being able to lift 50 pounds. Like a drastic change like that doesn't happen. Well, imperceptibly. So, one day when they are 10, Deku is getting bullied and he tells Kachan, stop, like, something doesn't feel right. And Katsuki's like, oh, it's the weakling. And I'd say they're outside, like, at a playground. He's like, oh, is the worthless Deku getting scared? And as Kachan says this, he's bursting at Deku, and he goes and he releases a explosion right in front of Deku. For some reason, Deku's like, wait, like his explosion, it feels weaker than what I can remember. Unknowing to Deku, Katsuki's explosions have indeed been getting actually stronger, but perceptively to Katsuki, it's not really that much of a change because Deku's always been singed and stuff like that. So as this is happening and Deku's feeling the heat, he's like, this doesn't feel right. And he's like, Kachan, I told you, something doesn't feel right. And as Deku is saying this, he throws a punch, and a light kind of appears, and he strikes Katsuki and sends him flying back. And from Katsuki's point of view, he throws his explosion, says his line, and he's like, Deku comes straight through the explosion, and this weird light around him can be seen, and a great pressure can be felt emanating from Deku. And Katsuki gets a look of shock, and as he has this look of shock, he feels a lot of pain, and he goes flying back. He stands up, and Deku's standing there with like this weird, what could be seen described as a light emanating from Deku, and then Deku says, Gachan, I don't feel too good, and Deku collapses. And a couple of minutes pass, and Deku comes to, and he's like, Deku, you damn nerd, looks like you're not as worthless as I thought. And he can hear the other kids in the playground. It's like, Deku's quirk came in. He's a late bloomer. Wow, and it seems like his quirk's really powerful. And Katsuki kind of huffs at this. And then he walks over to Izuku and is like, dang, dude. So I guess you're not as worthless as I thought. Looks like you had a quirk all along. You were just one of those late bloomers, Deku. Katsuki smiles as he says this, and Deku's just standing there in disbelief, and he's like, Kachan, what exactly happened? All I remember is, and then he looks at Kachan and he's like, Kachan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you in the jaw. I don't know, like, I just threw a punch and I hit you, I collided with you. And then Katsuki kind of explains from his point of view what happened, and Deku's just in shock. And this is when Katsuki says, don't let this get to your head, Deku, that you have a quirk now. I'm still going to be the #1 hero, and you're just a stepping point in my journey. With this, Katsuki walks away from Deku with his friends, and Deku's just left there standing, and he's like, what was that? Deku comes home running home, and he's like, Mom, my quirk came in. And Inko's like, really, sweetie, what? You have a quirk? And on his way home, like, Deku had been walking, and he's just thinking, it's like, bright light, a weird energy, and he's just playing, and he's thinking, and he's trying, and he, I would say halfway through his journey, is able to do it, and he produces, like, this pressure around his hands and feet and, like, his body, and it's almost luminescent, but it's not. And so he gets home and he says what he says to his mother. And she's like, what is it, baby? And Deku's like, I'm not sure, but I can do this now. And Deku does it, and his mom is a little shocked by this. It's like, Deku, that's amazing. And Ninko's like, what? Oh my god, wait a minute. We need to set up a quirk doctor appointment. We need to get you checked out, sweetie. It could be very dangerous. There may be side effects to your quirk that we don't know about yet. And Deku's like, yeah, Mom, I'm just really happy. Like, I have a power now. And Inka's like, yes, sweetie, but it may not be as flashy as your friend Katsuki's quirk. And Deku's like, it's not the point, Mom. This just means I can be a hero. I can finally, like, realistically become a hero. And Inka's like, yeah, baby, you can. So with that, you beautiful souls, I am going to end this part here. Thank you all for the 2K subs in the next couple of days or the next few minutes. I will start working on the 2K sub special. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what do you think about this. Should I continue doing this series, or completely focus on other what ifs that I'm doing? Let me know in the comment section. Your feedback is well welcomed. And with that, I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.